Hey Jack.
Hey.
Hey Jack.
Hey Josh.
Hi, how are you?
You want to watch some movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you, yeah.
This is the new Gladiators, starring Jared Martin and Fred Williamson. In the year 2072, the world has become a barbaric, computerized wasteland, waging a ruthless war for the minds of the masses. Two huge, global TV networks create increasingly... Well, you have to pause when there's a comma.
Huge.
Global TV networks. They create increasingly bizarre and violent programming. Oh, so it's like Running Man. In this media spectacular, convicted murderers are given a chance to escape their death sentences by entering into a high-tech fight to the finish in front of the cameras. Led by the resourceful Drake, Jared Martin of Westworld and TV's Dallas. And a towering black warrior, Fred Williamson of MASH. And you might be asking yourself, what is the genre of the new Gladiators? It's general. What is happening in this scene?
It's the only way to land the ship.
Oh, go! Oh, go, go! Oh, go, go!
Oh, pardon me, sir.
Oh, shit.
You must be Asian.
Yeah, maybe it starts out like this and they get... Oh my god! I want this for 90 minutes.
Exploded somehow.
Well, first off, this is actually sci-fi, genre-wise. So instead of just a general film, this one is specifically sci-fi, which is good to know. Alright, so as we've noted, this is Exterminator 2.
The much-awaited sequel.
Yes, and right at the top, the human firebomb returns. Robert Ginty, star of the television series The Paper Chase,
Quality.
and Hawaiian Heat, is the Exterminator, a torch-wielding outlaw vigilante. Mario Van Peebles,
Yes.
son of actor-writer-director Melvin Van Peebles, in case you forgot.
I did!
Together they are dynamite in the Exterminator, which is too bad because this is the Exterminator 2. When his brother is fried alive by the Exterminator during a hold-up attempt, the Satanic X and his gang decide to get even and exterminate the Exterminator. The Marauders unleash a campaign of violence and barbarism. They break into an armored car and shoot down the police helicopter that tries to stop them. This is the whole plot. As they terrify the populace and start giving orders to the Mafia.
Wait, what?
Apparently
How did the Mafia come into this?
Yeah, I know. It appears that they may be invincible until they make one fatal mistake. They cripple the seductive dance... Oh wait, no, sorry. Comma. They cripple the seductive dancer who is the girlfriend of the Exterminator. It's a mistake they quickly regret.
Yeah.
In a confrontation of all-consuming fury, the warlords meet their match. Who I assume would be the Exterminator 2.
I love how thugs in movies like this are always... They find it so hysterical whenever they murder people. They're just like constantly laughing.
Oh my god! Oh, well. Wow, I've never found an old lady being shot so far.
He's not gonna do anything clever ever, is he? He's just gonna walk up to people with a flamethrower and burn them.
Also, how did he know they were there?
It's so blatant, I love it. He just walks into frame.
There's a dumb bluntness to it, yeah.
Get that roller skate guy.
Chasing the roller skate guy down with the dump truck.
Oh, we'll watch.
Oh!
Straight up stealing ladies! So what's the third one, Jack?
His Aftermath.
Oh.
3 astronauts.
That's...
Done. Okay, alright.
Okay, cool.
3 astronauts.
Yes.
Return from deep space to discover that a worldwide biological and nuclear war has ravaged the Earth.
I hate it when that happens.
The returning scientists face a dual peril from mutant cannibals and from a gang of psychotic killers who control what is left of civilization.
Fuck!
The deranged leader of the gang savagely murders the survivors, one by one, before becoming the ultimate target of the avenging astronauts.
is this?
2072.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, this is horrifying.
Whoa!
Holy shit! He's trying so hard not to just stare at her boobs right there.
Right there. Honestly, they were just honey. Could you back up a little bit with the knife knives?
What?
The knife knives.
So the goal this week when we were picking out movies was to, last week we had the action movie theme, so we were trying to go with another theme this week, and we decided on sort of future dystopian post-apocalypse movies. We thought that's what we picked. It turns out that wasn't the case.
Each individual cover looks like a post-apocalypse.
Yeah, especially Exterminator 2. Like, you look at this cover, and you're like, wow, this looks like an awesome, you know, the world's gone to waste type movie, and that's not the case at all, but I guess we'll get to that.
And they're all dystopian. We can say
There
that.
is a certain dystopian-esque quality to some of them, all of them, but the first one we watched was the new Gladiators. Rich Evans, why don't you explain the new Gladiators?
The new Gladiators is basically just like the Running Man, with no budget.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Mike falls apart.
Yeah.
What do you mean reshoots? No. It's real. It's real. Go with it.
Yeah, it's the Running Man.
It's the Running Man.
It's the Running Man made cheap in Italian.
In what will go down in history as the greatest extravaganza of Mortal Kombat ever staged, the Battle of the Damned.
The difference being that in the Running Man, I don't think they intend to have a hero, whereas when they are shooting, they're getting this set up. There's a hero. There's got to be a hero.
Market research has determined a popular hero essential to give Gladiator contest a positive element.
And it's the guy who is the champion of Kill Bike.
It's Super Champion Drake in the show the whole world watches, Kill Bike.
Which ultimately, if Kill Bike had just been one film, we would have been very happy watching.
How do they kill each other?
With wheelies.
Yeah, but so he gets framed into, allegedly he's killed these three well-dressed men that killed his wife, and so they're able to work him into the new Gladiator system, which is all convicted killers. They're all going to go into this arena that they've built, the new Coliseum or whatever it is, and they're going to kill each other eventually.
I couldn't wait for him to get to that arena.
But they were also going to kill each other again, we find out, on motorbikes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically the same show as Kill Bike.
Kill Bike was you run into the wall and you just explode somehow.
I want this for 90 minutes.
Exploded somehow.
I think my favorite though was when he ran into the wall and the wall was like a ramp. It's like the bike should have just went up the ramp. Instead it just instantly blows up.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is so abstract, the way it's shot.
That's true.
We should mention, we didn't know this until we started watching, but the movie is directed by Lucio Fulci, which came as a big surprise to me.
Directed by Lucio Fulci.
Holy shit, okay.
And then there's the subplot with some sort of intrigue about how there's a computer that's going to take over the world.
All you want is these people battling in an arena, and you have to wait a goddamn hour for it to get to that.
Very abstract training montage that has the most effective training method I know, which is strobe lights.
Yeah.
There's a lot of strobing in general in this movie.
Strobe lights and psychological torture.
Yeah.
I love that. Which mostly was torture for the audience, I think, more than the actual people in the movie. But it's ultimately really straightforward.
The story,
it was not hard to follow. We didn't have any questions about why anyone was doing most things.
It was hard to follow visually sometimes. The directorial approach to it was lots of awkward close-ups of things and then just sort of panning to something else, and sometimes I didn't know if the actors even knew the camera was going to end up on them. Oh.
I'm on camera. Oh.
What is happening?
Something.
The one, or maybe the two things I really liked about this movie, really the only two things, are it looked like the future. They went out of the way to make things look kind of futuristic.
Yeah,
and
the miniatures were good.
There were nice sets.
Yeah.
Bad, but
Charming.
Charming.
It had that low budget charm to it.
And the other thing that was charming were the miniatures.
It was just, yeah, you spend a lot of the middle of the movie. There's a great action scene right at the beginning with the kill bikes. Yeah. And then you spend the rest of the movie just like, when are they going to get to the arena? We were almost convinced by the end that they were never going to have that final. Just like, they're going to wrap it up, aren't they?
It'd be some sort of artistic decision to not have them get to the arena.
Yeah. But thank God they do. And that part, again, is fucking awesome.
That part kind of rejuvenated everybody, I think.
He's got a weapon then. He needs his net. Oh my god! Oh. Teamwork! Oh.
Yeah, basically, if you cut out the middle 50 minutes of the new Gladiators,
or put another action scene,
in it, it would be a solid movie. Yeah. Either a solid short film or a solid feature.
Oh, you can get a solid 20 minutes out of that, I think.
Yeah.
But the parts that we liked were really fun. Yeah. Like there was a lot of actual craft, cheap craft, but craft that went into that movie, and you can appreciate that.
You have clearly Italian people that are dubbed over in English.
Cool. That's cool. I'm fine with that.
You see, I managed to eliminate all impulse to destroy anything.
We do agree that they were masturbating in order to land the ship.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that. Whenever they're landing the ship, people are like convulsing, but the camera is always so close on them, it just looks like somebody's just jerking it.
Yeah.
Landing.
Yeah, like that's how you land your ship, is just by furiously masturbating.
I'm gonna land it. I'm gonna land the ship. Oh, looks like she's working on landing that car. Uh-oh. Oh, slow down there, baby.
So the second film in our attempts at a future dystopian film was Exterminator 2. We thought this was a post-apocalypse thing, but as it turns out, we were wrong. We were all so wrong, to quote Prometheus. So Josh, what happened with Exterminator 2?
Yeah, we actually did the very barest of internet searching right after we watched the movie because we were very curious about, we had not seen Exterminator 1. Didn't really know what the deal was. We went and checked, this is not something we typically do, but I was very curious about when we watched the movie, it seemed like there was a lot unsaid.
Yeah.
A lot of things we should have picked up maybe by watching Exterminator 1. Having gone to look at the IMDb entry, I'm not convinced. Because the first movie it stars the same character, it's the same actor, but he's...
Actor.
But in the first movie, he comes back from Vietnam and he's all fucked up, and apparently his best friend gets killed on the streets of New York, and he goes all Death Wish, and then some other guy's got to stop him. Now in this movie, same guy, same character, he's just kind of bumming around like he doesn't have a job. He goes to this dance club. There's a dancer, and she dances around.
Kind of.
Very,
sort of dancing.
I wouldn't call it seductive, but you know, seductive-esque.
Yeah, sure. Boink, boink.
The world's worst stripper contest. She's in first place.
Oh, so twitchy.
Amateur night. It's amateur night.
Was it supposed to be a striptease?
No, it was dancing. She's an artist.
Yeah, she wanted to be on Broadway.
Yeah. So the bar just has
A random dancer
random
with
dancers?
a pole, but not a stripper.
Okay.
Just a prop.
Okay.
Just something for the half dozen extras to look at when they're awkwardly dancing.
Sure. But so then he happens to run into his buddy who's driving a garbage truck, who's gonna give him a job, and like, hey, that's cool. Meanwhile, there's this drug gang, and their plan is to take over the city via drugs. I think
it was the simpler way to say this plot synopsis is a man starts murdering people with fire.
Yes. I was gonna get to that, buddy. Let me just get there.
But that's the start of the movie. It starts with him
The
murdering
very first
someone.
thing is him murdering people with a flamethrower.
That's it.
And those people murdered some elderly people.
They did, and it was glorious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Oh my God!
Come on.
Oh, Grandpa.
grandpa.
And then they murder some woman he just met.
Yeah.
And that makes him want to murder people with fire even more.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole thing is that he falls in love and he makes a friend, and those people die because of him.
Everybody he cares about dies because he sets other people on fire.
And he set other people on fire first.
Yes.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah, we agreed actually that he would have less problems if he set more people on fire.
It's an all or nothing kind of thing. Either don't set anyone on fire,
Or set all the people on fire.
all the people.
The only thing I can say with certainty is that we would have benefited more if he set more people on fire.
Yes. It's wonderful though the way his methods are just so absolutely blunt. There's like nothing subtle.
No.
There's nothing creative. He just shows up with his mask on. He flames them for a second, and the scene ends.
He's done.
Then he's done.
It's the same thing I like about the Friday the 13th movies. With Jason Voorhees, there's just such a dumb, blunt simplicity to it, to the way he kills people. And it's the same with this, where it's just like, that's admirable.
It's
not
fun.
clever. There's nothing clever about what they're doing. He's just murdering people with a flamethrower.
But there could be something clever, like
I don't want there to be something clever in a movie where a guy murders people with a flamethrower.
Oh, it needs some pizzazz. Like, he has a flamethrower, and all we see is the shot of the flame coming to camera.
That's why he builds the world's silliest death truck at the end.
He goes all
He's got this dump truck, and it's got this little compartment, and this machine gun on like a wooden pole comes out the side, and some strings start pulling the trigger.
A rifle?
It's like if the kid from Home Alone were to build a death truck. Like little paint cans with machine guns. It was
Precisely, precisely.
beautiful.
I was just thinking that exact same thing.
We're gonna sneak up behind the man and take what's rightfully ours.
He acted the fuck out of that movie. He gave it 110%.
Yeah. Again, like Never Too Young to Die, the movie lights up when he's on screen, just like Gene Simmons in that, because the Exterminator himself is just a charisma vacuum in this movie.
If charisma were sugar, he would be Coke Zero.
Yeah, so the guy sucks.
Yeah. And then the end, like the comeuppance of everything, it's like, what's the lesson he's learned? The lesson is to burn everyone before they burn you, and then walk away.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's a classic case of, it's a classic like low-budget genre movie, canon especially, where they're selling you on this image and not what's in the actual movie.
It's gonna be all right.
We should talk about that. The fact that the girl, she wants to be a dancer. The thugs beat her legs to the point where she's in a wheelchair.
She gets a little, just a tiny bit curb stomped. Just this one.
Yeah, just a hair curb stomped. Yeah, after breakdancing. There's a great breakdancing.
Immediately after breakdancing.
That's actually the highlight of the movie.
The breakdance? Oh, that's some good stuff.
Whoa, nunchucks?
'Cause 80s.
Touche.
Also, breakdancing might happen at any time.
Yeah. Breakdance fighting?
Oh, it could be.
Or
see?
I can't believe you just called that.
That's amazing. Breakdancing just might happen.
There it is.
So that happens. She's in a wheelchair, and then he goes after the people that put her in the wheelchair, and then she gets murdered off camera, and we just see the aftermath of it, and then we don't see his reaction to her getting murdered at all. No,
you don't see her face, so I'm still not sure that the actress just didn't say, screw this.
There was something in the credits that said additional direction by or additional filming by, and so I think that they reshot some stuff to try and make the movie make sense. I think maybe they had even less to work with originally.
They set up a lot of things that made sense, and then just kind of just let them slip by the wayside. We didn't watch anything in this movie and go, why did that happen? Why did he do that? Like, we get why why these things are happening. It's just kind of just throwing ideas and just kind of whatever. Oh, he's sad because his girlfriend of 2 weeks is dead.
Right.
because he finally learned to love again, and then they killed her. And then he burns everyone he sees, the end.
I would have rather watched a movie about his garbage truck driver friends picking up ladies at clubs and going out for breakfast. Like a whole movie about him. That would have been great.
He should have been the Exterminator.
He should have been every character in the movie.
He walks into the club and picks up 2 ladies, not even trying.
Hey, my man. Don, I want you to meet 2 ladies. Sunlight and Sunbright. All right.
Do you think their names were actually Starlight and Starbright, or are those phony names that they gave to the weird middle-aged black man that was hitting on them?
Oh, come on, it's all about me.
Can we also talk about how they go to the best bar ever?
Well, they have free beer at that bar.
Just free beer.
Just free beer. And it's advertised.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a secret. It's just free beer.
I don't want you to go.
I don't really want to go.
He really has 2 gears through the whole movie. It's mumbling and yelling.
Well, there was that one scene with the girl where he like decided like maybe for my career I should try to act.
There was, yeah.
And he starts hamming it up with the girl.
She dances, he's like, oh, she's the best dancer I've ever seen. And like he actually starts acting for just a minute.
And that was it. That was it for the movie.
Look, you're getting a standing ovation here. The crowds are on their feet.
Maybe that was like the first thing they filmed, and then after that he got diagnosed with MS. Is that possible?
Oh God.
That would explain everything.
Now this movie is the saddest movie. Oh wait, it's only the second saddest movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then we watched Aftermath.
So yeah, our last film was Aftermath.
The best movie ever.
Jack, what happens in Aftermath?
Aftermath is the story of 3 astronauts returning to Earth after being in space for 3 years to find the apocalypse. Yeah.
So it starts off with, the guys are in space and they're having problems and they couldn't just land normally, but they've got to have problems because drama. And meanwhile, we're cutting back to Earth and people are being rounded up around a farm. There's an old guy with a tie and a lady with no bra, and another lady with no bra and a child, and some dudes.
That's how you know it's the post-apocalypse. No bras and slightly disheveled ties. Yep.
Oh, so, real quick sidebar on that. Her name came up in the credits, Lynn Margulies, and I was like, that name sounds familiar, and I went and looked. She is the woman who was Andy Kaufman's girlfriend in the last few years of his life. Yeah, the Courtney Love role in Man on the Moon. That's her.
Do you think this movie was an Andy Kaufman prank?
So they're intercutting with, they're rounding up these people. There's, the guy, like Sid Haig and his bunch of cronies are clearly like the warlords. And
good old
like,
Sid Haig.
Oh, Sid Haig does an amazing job in this movie. So the men are getting shot and the women and children are being taken to the rape camp. Meanwhile, the spaceship crash lands in the water. 2 of the 3 dudes live and they find their way into the ruins of Los Angeles, where they figure out eventually via the exposition of Forrest J. Ackerman that nuclear acid rain is destroying the world. And there are some survivors, and there are some mutants for some reason.
It was all delivered in a very Ed Wood-esque monologue about the dangers of human nature.
Throughout history, man developed many unique mechanical devices with which to destroy his fellow man.
So then it becomes actually very much like Exterminator 2, just a straight revenge thing, where Newman's just pissed and he's gonna fucking kill Sid Haig and all his people.
Yeah.
And then he kills almost everyone. He chases the second in command onto the roof of some building and like toys with him and almost throws him off the roof like 3 times.
I was so waiting for him to throw him off the roof. That would have been great.
They were filming the action scene. It was probably all intended to be at like the camp.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, hey, we can film on this roof over here that my buddy owns.
They're
like,
suddenly not on a farm anymore.
Why don't we do that? And then the guy just gets in like a car and they drive
Takes
away.
off,
And then they go to the top of this building for absolutely no reason.
Yeah. The tone of this movie completely fucked with my brain.
Speaking of the tone.
Yeah.
Let's see what this originally, Go ahead.
It starts off with the stuff with them in space, and it feels like a cheesy Ed Wood type movie. There's a spaceship, and it's like, a guy with a string. And you're like, aw. So it feels like this cheesy sort of like like 60s Planet of the Apes.
Beautiful blinking light.
Yeah. It's sort of like charming and cheesy and cute. Cut to Sid Haig murdering people, small children, not even off camera, just violently on camera.
And laughing.
And then he shoots a guy and his goddamn head explodes. It felt so out of place with especially the music. It was like Looney Tunes-esque music. So then that happened, and then we go back to our astronauts, and it's sort of, again, cheesy, sci-fi, family-friendly, and then there's just rape. And it's so awful.
Which, by the way, the sticker wouldn't peel off, is drama. That makes a little bit more sense. Just this much more.
We all have to die.
First they kill the love interest, then they kill the love interest's friend, then they kill the love interest's friend's small child.
Yeah.
Then they kill the astronaut friend. Then the main character dies, and the end of the movie is a 10-year-old child with a revolver walking down this lonely road to fend for himself.
After murdering an adult.
After murdering an adult.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
And that's why I think the boring middle is worth it, because there is some character development. Like, we learned that the hero's wife and kid died, and now he's got a new girl, and so like it's boring.
It's fucking.
It's boring, but we learn stuff about the characters, and then he goes on a half-hour murder.
Well, that's when the movie completely redeems itself.
Yeah.
And it's
so glorious.
It's bizarre because it's so out of place, and like I wonder if somebody different directed and wrote the end of that movie because it's trying to be like before that it's trying to be some kind of drama. You don't know if there's some kind of message, but it's very dry.
Yeah.
It's not a heroic movie. The main character, Newman, is not a heroic character. Normal average Joe, at the end of the movie, suddenly becomes John Rambo.
Yeah.
I mean, he takes out with no effort 75 henchmen.
Yeah, and it's all set to Looney Tunes music. So they didn't end up being, these three films did not end up being all post-apocalyptic, dystopian future movies, but they did have some similarities. The big one being that people get set on fire in all three.
In each one, there is at least one person.
At least one.
In New Gladiators and Exterminator, actually a number of people.
Yeah.
Because it turns out that in the future, in New Gladiators, all the motorcycles are just explosives.
So that was the big similarity. Were there any other connecting threads between these three movies?
Not between the three. The Aftermath and Exterminator 2 both had very downbeat endings.
They were
New
both
Gladiators
pretty goddamn miserable.
New Gladiators was a happy ending.
Yeah, I would have expected Exterminator 2 out of these three movies, because that one is like sleazy 80s genre movie, New York. I would think this movie would have been full of rape. And it... and it just isn't.
There's maybe one implied.
There's one implied, but Aftermath is just.
It's a rape fest.
It's a rape fest, which I was not expecting. So out of the three movies we thought were going to be post-apocalyptic movies, only one was. But if you had to pick, Josh, what would be your pick for best of the three?
Hands down, New Gladiators. It was charming. It was entertaining. And it was one action sequence away from being actually an enjoyable movie.
Okay.
The New Gladiators had some charm to it. Like I said, I did like the sets and the miniatures, but the last 30 minutes or so of Aftermath completely redeems it.
Yeah.
Completely redeems it. I think it's possible people don't talk about Aftermath because nobody can get through the first hour.
Nobody has ever seen this full movie
nobody
until
can get
now.
through that first hour.
Yeah.
But once you do, Aftermath. That's my pick.
Okay. Yeah. Aftermath would also be my pick, which I was really surprised by. That caught me off guard. New Gladiators is a close second. I don't think any of us are gonna pick this shitball.
Jack?
No.
Jack?
I don't. I also think Exterminator 2 should go away. It's definitely Aftermath. Okay. Both Aftermath and New Gladiators had those charming qualities where they had like built sets and real props and real action and real
Another
stunts.
thing I should mention, the matte paintings too. The matte
paintings in Aftermath, they're easily the equal of the miniatures in New Gladiators, where it's like you took some time, you got this done, and it's like, it's not like I'm fool, I don't think this is a real thing, but it's like you put the craft in it.
There's a charm to it.
I like the spaceship in Aftermath better. More buttons and blinkies, and it was a tight little spaceship, and you know, in New Gladiators, the spaceship was just like a big room.
Yeah, but no one had to masturbate to set that one down.
You're right. Fuck that.